Mekhi Blackmon, cornerback out of USC. And again, I think both him and Rajon Wright, East Paul, are two boys. All right, but Mekhi Blackmon. Let's look at something aggressive at the top of the route. A little grabby essentially means aggressive. Uh, very aggressive. Double moves might get him. From off, he can play a little soft and safe. Draws a lot of flags. So watching him, it was interesting because he was just overly aggressive. Now he's not as big. He's listed at 5'11". He's 180 pounds. So part of that might just be him overcompensating for not being the biggest of guys. I think he has really good feet. I think he could trust his feet more. I think he could play with his feet more and not have to be as grabby as he was in the few games that I watched. But overall, I would rather tell a guy to tone down on the aggressiveness as opposed to being like, "Hey man, I need you to be more aggressive." All right, I can, I can, I can, I can coach you to say, "Hey, let's come back a little bit. Just play. Use your feet more. Put the boxing gloves on him so he can't grab. Like do those things." But again, it was fun watching him because of how aggressive he was, and I watched him get an interception. It was great, man. He played what I call chest to chest. This was against Stanford, I believe, and he's chest to chest in the end zone, goes through, looks through the receiver, plays the ball at his highest point, knocks it away, knocks it in the air, then goes and picks it off and takes it about 35 yards or so down the sideline. I mean, it was a great play. And he made that play because of how aggressive he plays. So it's like you don't want him to turn it down too much. And it kind of reminds me of like Talanoa Hufanga, right? Where Hufanga, there's times where his aggressiveness with his eyes might get him a little bit and but he makes as much plays as he does because he's so aggressive, right? So it's kind of this what they call it, catch 22. It's kind of this, you got to kind of give and take a little bit. Where I want you to be aggressive because that's what makes you desirable, and but we have to try to be as safe as possible with it. And with Blackman, it wasn't the same as Hufanga, who was, oh man, he's so aggressive, and then oh man, it's a touchdown. But with Blackman, it was just it's a pass interference. It's a pass interference. It's a holding. It's a pass interference. Like, and you saw that consistently. And I think a lot of people would have a real hard time with that. Me, I like the aggressiveness. I like how he plays violent through the hands, especially for a guy who's not big. Maybe he is more of a nickel at the NFL level. There could be that, and seeing how he could fit with the 49ers there. But definitely he profiles as an outside guy, especially with how aggressive he is. And then he's pretty 4.47, 40-yard dash, had a good broad jump, had a good vertical jump. All right. So the athleticism's there. The ability is there. It's just a little grabby at the top of routes. And that's the one thing. That's probably the one complaint I had. There were a couple of other times where I felt like maybe he could have been a little bit stronger at the top. Now again, that goes okay. There's that thin line between being too aggressive and drawing a flag, but then not enough aggressive, and then the guy just kind of bullying you at the top of the route, and you're just end up 4 yards away on a slant route. But then he comes right back, and then he has a great rep where he stays square, gets hands on, watch the guy down line of scrimmage. So it was a fun watch. I would say right now between him and Rajon Wright, who do I like more? I would go with Mekhi Blackmon. I think that's the guy that to me I like more. Now, didn't see a whole lot of off coverage from him. Was a guy that I thought played a lot more press man. But again, I feel like me personally, I can teach you zone. I can teach you to understand where your eyes should be in zone. Pure man coverage skills and just having the ability to run vertically with guys, it's hard to teach that. So again, go back to Rajon Wright. I think long speed might be an issue. It just might. Guarding quicker guys just might be an issue. And that's why you take him more late day two, sometime day three, maybe. Like his brother. His brother got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, and he was a fourth round pick. Now his brother's taller, 6'4", Rajon Wright 6'2". But longer guys, and it's kind of like, okay, we'll see. We'll see, right? Blackman, I feel like, should go a little earlier. Now, the thing that might hold Blackman back a little bit is he's just not as big. I said 5'11", 180. He's actually 5'11", 178. And I don't know if 5'11" is like because sometimes when you look at the combine stuff, they round up, so it could be 5'10" and 3/4, and they just round up to 5'11. So that could be the case